How's it going, you guys? AZPlow21 back with this UFC save here in WMMA 5, and we are going to book some fights. So as you can see, we've got a lot of re-signings we have to do. That's because of July, for whatever reason. A lot of people's contracts were up in July of 2024. Not 100% why, but we basically had to offer a buttload of people some new contracts. And so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have coming up. And then let's go ahead and book some fights. We have Rodriguez versus Ortega, Adesanya versus Uzdemir, Covington versus Shavkat. We've got UFC 305 Prohaska versus Pereira. We've got UFC Fight Night Holland versus Tumanov, UFC Fight Night Yan versus Figueiredo, UFC Fight Night Sarukian versus Ferguson, and UFC 306 O'Malley versus Umar. Now for these two fight cards, for whatever reason, I booked 20 fights. I'm just going to leave it as is, but that's not what I'm normally going to do. It's going to be 6 main card fights, 10 prelims. And the main reason for that is so that way I don't run out of fighters to book, essentially. That was just kind of a mistake that I made, but I don't want to cancel the fights. They can just fight on those cards. North Carolina and Tennessee are just going to get some extra fights. So good for them. That should be a pretty good pay-per-view, though. O'Malley and Nurmagomedov. You got Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison for the featherweight title. As a reminder, we did have John Jones get injured. We did have Hamzat get injured. And so as a result of that, Marvin Vettori won the interim welterweight title. So he's going to be fighting next against Hamzat. And then Andre Muniz got injured, like right at the deadline, like literally the day of the fight. He said, "Ow, I cannot see. My eye is injured." And so now Muniz and Cannonier couldn't fight. So we ended up only having 2 title fights, which was freaking crazy. So we have a lot of titles available to book if we possibly can. So I say let's get real weird with it. Let's go ahead and take a look and see which champions are available. So John Jones, he's out for 2 months. That's not happening. Sergey Spivak, poor Sergey Spivak. He's probably going to have to just wait until John's okay. Light heavyweight, Yuri's already booked. We got middleweight, Robert Whitaker coming off that win over Brendan Allen, but he's on hiatus. And so the next man up was Andre Muniz. And he should be good to go, so we can go ahead and immediately book that one. So we got Cannonier versus Muniz. We can go ahead and book that one. We got welterweight Hamzat Chimaev. Beat Leon Edward. He's out for 40 days. What's Marvin Vettori looking like? 26 days, so we're going to hold off on that. Super lightweight, that is obviously still going on. Lightweight, Dawson's already booked. Featherweight, Alexander Volkanovski is already defending against Grant Dawson for the lightweight title because he has both of them. Bantamweights, we've already got O'Malley booked. Flyweight, Brandon Royval, so he's definitely going to defend against Moreno, who's back in 40 days, so that's probably not until next month. Ooh, this is starting to look very, 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 very dim here. We've already got the featherweight title booked. Bantamweight can't do it because Amanda's the champion. Grasso, she's back in only 12 days. And Zhang is no longer the contender. Shevchenko or Blanchfield? One of those two. Maverick coming off a win over Tyler Santos. Manon Fior. Really should be Manon Fior. Why is she fighting Gabriela Fernandez randomly? No, it's not going to be Blanchfield. Probably is going to be Shevchenko. Yep, because Blanchfield lost to Fior, correct? He sure did. Shevchenko it is. Are you ready? You're damn right she's ready. Shevchenko and Grasso. So Shevchenko and Grasso are good to go. And then straw weights, it says Yaregui is up next. Got Rose. Good to go in 12 days. Zhang Weili, of course, just lost to Grasso. She's out for 6 months. Yaregui. Good to go in 5 days. Alrighty. Alright. 3 title fights. Not necessarily the most exciting one between Rose and Yaregui, but a title fight nonetheless. So that should be exciting. 3 title fights that we're going to have booked up. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cannonier versus Muniz. Shevchenko versus Grasso. And Rose versus Yaregui. Now, Yaregui and Grasso are both Mexican. Do we go to Mexico? Let's just go to, like, California. We can go to California. All right, cool. So we're going to California. So now let's just go ahead and see who else we can book up here. Got Polyana Viana. We can wait on her for a week or so. All right, we got Tainara, who needs a fight. Why is Amanda Hebos all the way down at number 18? I am not sure. Jianan Yan, no. Egink versus Tainara. Alright, everyone else seems to be booked. Tatiana Suarez, 40 days, she can wait. Denise Gomez is going to need a fight. Montserrat Ruiz, Conejo, she's back in 12 days. Angela Hill, back in 3 months. Stamp Fairtex, she's ready to go. And then Zhang, she's not back for 6 months. So Stamp Fairtex is ready to go. Maybe Stamp versus Conejo. Let's do Stamp Fairtex versus Gomez. So Stamp versus Gomez, and then we're good on the strawweight division. Flyweight division, Casey O'Neill. 5 days away, so she can be booked. Let's see, Tracy Cortez perhaps. 19 days. Okay, we can rock with that. Cortez versus O'Neill. Worth Wessels out for a while. Caitlin Chukagian back in 12 days. Valerie Loreda, she's out for a while. Andrea Lee out 2 days. Okay. Have Lee and Chukagian fought? I feel like that's probably happened. Has not. Okay. So Andrea Lee versus Chukagian. Got Tyler Santos, lost to Miranda Maverick. She's out forever. Karina Rodriguez coming off a win. 19 days. Got Luana Santos, 19 days. Beat Jillian Robertson. So Blanchfield. She's back in 2 days. Anja, she's out forever. Miranda Maverick, she's back in 26 days. Blanchfield and Maverick seems like a very good fight to make. And I'm with it. That'll be the second time that has happened. Caitlin Sosa, 12 days. Reina Cordoba, 43 years old. She does not have very much time left. We'll go ahead and do Sosa and Cordoba. Cornelia Holm. Rodriguez, 19 days. Luana Santos, 19 days. Let's do Holm versus Santos. All right, cool. And then that's it for flyweight. Bantamweight, Cavalcanti coming off a loss to Aldana, 12 days. Adelino, 40 days. Lipski coming off a win recently. Tamiris Vidal just beat Macy Chasson. When is she back? 12 days. Now let's do Vidal and Cavalcanti. Laura Howarth, 19 days, lost to Rocky Pennington. Udalova, 19 days. Beth Correa coming off a win. She's out for a while though. Felita Bernardo, 12 days. Yana Santos, she's ready to go. Let's do Bernardo versus Santos. And then Lipski versus Howard. Beautiful. Bantamweight done. Featherweight. $30. Jindrova could use a fight. Ian McCourt. Nope, she is not ready. Sinead Kavanaugh. Nope. Ronda Rousey. 40 days. Jessica Miele. Nope. Carol Hosa. Okay, we can do Jindrova versus Hosa. Alright, Stephanie Egger is ready to go, coming off a win. Reina Miura. Nope. Let's see. Gina Fabian. Already beating her. Some Martins versus Egger, it looks like. Danielle Wolf. 23 days, we'll leave that. Julia Budd. 33 days. Okay, cool, we'll leave that. Flyweight, we got Jifa Shang. 26 days, we'll leave that. Yuki Ito, he's out for a while. Amir Albazi, 26 days. Sam Creasy, 16 days. Alexander Pantoja, which is crazy. Maybe not. He's just been losing. Jesus Santos Aguilar. Who did he just beat? Rustam-Bek. Aguilar versus Pantoja, I guess. Because Moreno's not ready for a while. Ucia Formiga, 12 days. Taves Nicolau. Has that happened? De Silva and Nicolau? It has not. Beautiful. That's a pretty high level flyweight fight. Arafov. He's only out for 5 days. Marcel Ader. Out for 22 days. Sam Creasy. Okay, I think we're good on flyweight. Bantamweights. O'Malley's fighting Umar. Aljamain should be next, I imagine. Davison Figueiredo versus Jan is happening. Merab. Aljamain versus Merab would never happen also, which is unfortunate. Sanhagen's not coming back for a while. Davison is out for 5 days. Merab is out for 5 days. Has Davison and Merab happened? It has not. That's crazy. 4 straight fights. Merab versus Figgy. Oh no, that's not happening. He's fighting Jan. Yeah, Merab's kind of just left out right now. Sorry. Javid Basharat back in 9 days. He could use a fight. Yadong Song. Just beat Cheeto Vera. That's a pretty good one. Let's do that. Okay, we got On Ho. Back in 19 days. After winning in his debut. We could also have the debut of Darian Caldwell. When's Dominic Cruz back? Because I'd rather debut him against Dominic Cruz if he's good. 12 days, there it is. Cruz versus Caldwell. On Ho versus Rixim Zenedine. Making his debut. I like that. Zenedine versus Ho. Knights, featherweights. Andre Touchy-Feely. 26 days. Algio versus Feely. Has that happened? It sure has, within 2 years. Korean Zombie, 40 days. He's out for a while. Topuria needs a good fight. And he's back in 12 days. What about him and Lufnane? Evloev? He just lost. Patricio Pitbull. 26 days. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Topuria and Lufnane. Arnold Allen, he's still injured a little bit. Evloev is ready to go. What about Pitbull? 26 days. Evloev versus Pitbull seems interesting. So let's do it. Evloev versus Pitbull. Hagabah beat Barbosa. He's out for a little bit. AJ Cunningham, 16 days. Nathaniel Woods already booked. Jake Childers. Versus Magomed Rasul Kasulubayev. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Cunningham versus Childers. And Aljo versus Asbulayev. Perfect. Good on featherweight. Luis Gustavo beats Bahamondes, who is a nobody in his debut. So it really doesn't matter who he fights next, but Gamrot is ready to rock. So let's just go ahead and do that. Ravola, 19 days. Mamedov, 44 days. We just beat Christos Giagos, who's ranked 25th. And Hooker just beat RDA. Go ahead and rock with that. Ravola versus Hooker. Got Jared Gordon. Gabriel Costa. And Damian Arzapecki. (22) and 22. Right, good there. Let's take a look at the tournament. Chandler Makachev, Leon Oliveira. Chandler Makachev, Leon Oliveira. Chandler Makachev, Leon Oliveira. Chandler's ready. Makachev? He sure is as well. And then Leon versus Charles. That's an interesting one. 33 days. We'll probably have to wait on that one. Yep, we'll definitely have to wait on that one. Okay, but Chandler versus Islam is happening. Now, Nate Diaz is ready to go. Jalen Turner. 9 days. Christian Aguilera, 19 days. Dustin Poirier, 2 months. Drew Dober, 19 days. Beneil Dariush, 3 months. Nate Diaz versus somebody. That'll surely sell tickets. And we're good there. Then we go to welterweight. Let's see, Max Griffin, he's out for a while. Neil Magny, 2 months. Gilbert Burns just lost. 19 days though, he's back. JDM. Did I straight up just cancel that fight? I think I did. He's back in 5 days. I think I still wanted to do JDM versus Bilal, but with Amasov cooking, might be a little different now. Chimaev would be fighting Vettori next either way. Jeff Neal out for 6 months. Amasov is good to go. Jackson lost to Sean Brady. Who's back in 5 days? Man, Brady's actually been getting some pretty good wins here. Maybe it should be Brady versus Amosov. Let's go ahead and do that. Do Brady versus Amosov. Jason Jackson could use a fight. Umalatov, 19 days. Both of these guys need to be fighting down. You have Vicente Luque coming off the win. He's out for 6 months. JDM, of course, we want him to fight Bilal. Mid-level national, it'll just mean a bit more. He just lost to JDM. So why is JDM all the way down here? JDM versus Bilal, and then that's good for welterweight. Middleweight, we already know that Cannonier is going to fight Muniz, so that's good. And Vittori, probably it'll be next month that he fights to unify that belt. Whitaker is still on hiatus. We have Gasanov. Is he ready? 16 days. He could fight. He just beat Kyle Baralho. Humberger on hiatus. Christian Leroy Duncan, he's out for a while. Golly. Romando Lidze. Pfeiffer beat Abasov. Man, kind of a fucked up situation here. Humberger. Got Semmelsberger up in here, though. Semmelsberger versus Abasov. Christian Leroy Duncan, I believe he's out forever. Yep. Paulo's on hiatus, and then Humber. Okay, we're good. Good on middleweight then. All right, Ankalaev is ready to go after beating Murzakanov. He's already in line to fight for the title. He's probably going to want to just wait. Murzakanov, is he ready? No, he is not. Muslim Magomedov, after beating Jacoby, he's ready to go in 12 days, as is Paul Craig. Take a look down here. Kennedy lost to Reiner de Ritter. Simeon Powell beat Ryan Spann, 26 days. He can wait. Darko Stosic needing to make his debut. He can do it against Kennedy. Zekchukwu. Dmitry Minikov. He's not back for a while. Dustin Jacoby just lost. Iwan on hiatus. Rakic, 26 days. He could fight Foyt. Paul Craig, though. Or Muslim. Because he's back in 12 days. Like Rakic deserves that fight a little bit more. Do that. Magomedov versus Rakic. All right, then we're good on light heavyweights. John Jones is not back until next month. 2 months, so probably at while. Maida, nope. Derek Lewis, 26 days. Got knocked out by Yuri, that's crazy. Philip Stavovi. Chris Dawkins, 12 days. So where is that dude that beat Cyril Gahn? He's out for three months. Biggie Boy lost to John Jones. He's out for 2 months. Sergey Spivak. Malakin and Pavlovic. Yeah, probably for a title shot, honestly. Aspinall beat Tuivasa. He's good to go in 5 days. Do we run him and Curtis back? I don't know about that. He needs to be fighting down, get a win. Hassan Graham, after beating Cyril Gahn, he's out for 2 months though. No. There's not too much for Tom to do here, sadly. Bruno Capolosa. Anton Diaz again. We can just put those two against each other. Wheatrek versus Diaz again. And then Capolosa versus Blades. Fuck it, let's do it. Capolosa versus Blades. Six months is crazy. And then I guess Stowowi versus somebody. All right, cool. We are all good there. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see out of these fights what we think could possibly be on the pay-per-view. 3 pay-per-view fights already set in stone, so let's just take a look here. Possible. Yep. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible ones for 2 spots. Cruz versus Caldwell. I feel like that's a good one because that's definitely not going to main event a fight card. Same thing with Evloev and Pitbull, Chandler Islam. Okay, so Nate Diaz has to be on there. We'll do Nate Diaz and Cruz Caldwell. Excuse me. Introducing Darren Caldwell to the world. Get Nate Diaz in there with somebody interesting, and that somebody interesting This is gonna sound ridiculous, but that someone interesting is gonna be Khabib Nurmagomedov. Don't laugh. But Khabib and Nate Diaz would actually be a pretty crazy fight in the super lightweight division. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Fuck it. All right, now let's go ahead and see what could possibly main event fight card. Just possibly one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's for 3 fight cards that we're gonna run. One, two, three, 2. All right. And we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me show you guys what I'm doing at least. Splitting it between the fight cards that we're gonna run. Ooh. Perfectly evened out. Love that. Okay, so now where do we want to run? Where are we running right now? Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, Moscow. I think we said the pay-per-view is going to be in California, right? Especially with Nate Diaz on there. Yep. So let's go ahead and get that set up. September, week 4. Okay. Dance publicity blitz. Boom, boom. We're going to do that for every pay-per-view. Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina. Go to like Canada. Go to like British Columbia. Wherever in Canada we have not visited recently, we'll go there. So September. Throwaway show. Quebec, Ontario. Have not been there since 2019. Fuck it, we're going to Ontario. Alright, we're going to Ontario. And then, where is Ontario relative to the rest of Canada? Ontario, Canada. Okay, it's kind of like Middle East, I guess you could say. And then from there, we can hit up, if we're doing like a little tour, I guess, and do Pennsylvania. Do Pennsylvania and Virginia. Let's go down the list of the states, and if we haven't visited something in a while, we'll go there. Tennessee, we're just about to go there. Rhode Island. Fuck it, let's do Rhode Island. Connecticut. Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho. Iowa. Yeah, fuck it, let's go to Iowa. Dope. Ontario, Rhode Island, and Idaho and Iowa. Cool. All right. And so for number 1, just so you can see me organizing all this stuff. Number 1. Ooh, Taporia versus Lufnane in Canada. Right. Good there. So now 2 in Rhode Island. Mansfield and Maverick alongside Evloev and Pitbull. Stamp versus Gomez. Sosa versus Cordoba. Bernardo versus... A lot of these are going to end up being just prelims anyways. Like this one. Martins versus Egger. Oshrod versus Song. That'll probably be on the main card. Cunningham versus Childers. Gavola versus Hooker. Stoshek versus Nzechukwu. Apollosa versus Blade. That's a crazy bad card. That's not actually the worst card. All right, so let's go ahead and go to Ontario. We have Chandler versus Islam. That's super lightweight. All right, so we got Chandler. We don't have Islam. Egging versus Tainara. Okay, that's definitely going to be a prelim, so I'll just put it there right now. Lee versus Chukagian. That's rough. That'll probably end up on the main card, I would imagine. Even though it doesn't look very good for them. Vidal versus Cavalcanti. That's a bantamweight fight. That will be on the prelims. Gendrova versus Hossa. Yep, on the prelims you go. Formiga versus Nicolau. That'll be on the main card for sure. Taporia versus Lofnane. That will be on the main card. Gustavo versus Gamrot. Will be on the main card more than likely. Semelsberger versus Abasov. That will be on the prelims. And then Wietrek versus Viaz again, that will definitely be a prelim. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we have one main card fight to book and then 5 prelims, so that's good. None of them are in waiting to book. That's good. We got Rhode Island. We've got Evloev versus Pitbull. Got Blanchfield versus Maverick. Okay, we got Stamp versus Gomez. Says this would be a main show fight. Okay. Fuck it. It'll be a main show fight then. Sosa versus Cordoba. Very much highly doubt that would be a main card fight. So we'll go ahead and stick that on the prelims. Martins versus Egger. Same exact thing. Oop. Bernardo versus Santos. That would be a prelim. Basharat versus Song. That would be on the main card for sure. Cunningham versus Childers. Probably be on the main card. Bravola versus Hooker. That would be on the main card. Stocic versus Nzechukwu. Prelims. And then Kapalotza versus Blades. So 1, 2, 3. So that Childers fight's gonna have to go in the prelims then. Okay. Good to go there. Iowa. Got Brady versus Amosov. That should be fine as a main event. Got JDM versus Bilal. Cortez versus O'Neal. Holm versus Santos. Lipsky versus Howarth. Aguilar versus Pantoja. Venedim versus Ho. Algio versus Hasbulayev. Gordon versus Arzapeki. Magomedov versus Rakic. And then Stavovi versus somebody. Versus Muhammad Usman. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. And then we have the pay-per-view. Cannonier versus Muniz. For the middleweight championship. It says just barely make it onto the main show. That's crazy. We've got Shevchenko versus Grasso. We've got Rose versus Yaregui. We've got Nate Diaz versus somebody. Nate Diaz versus Khabib Nurmagomedov in his return fight. Hell yeah, brother. And then Dominic Cruz and Darian Caldwell. Okay. So we are all good there. Now let's go ahead and start booking up some of the main card fights that we're missing with Ontario. Looks like nothing else is really missing, so we just need one more good main card fight, it would appear. So we're going to go to catchweight female by popularity. No, not really. Catchweight male. Justin Gaethje. Rory McDonald. Rory McDonald at welterweight. Down with Rory McDonald versus Jason Jackson. Awesome. All right, we go to Rhode Island where we have 1, 2, 3. So no main card fights to be booked there. We go to Iowa where we have one missing. So one main card fight here. Go to popularity. Go back over to catchweight male. Paddy Pimblett, Biggie Boy, Henry Cejudo. Looks like it's going to be Paddy Pimblett. In lightweight. Pimblett versus McDessie. All right, I'm down with that. Okay, so that one's good to go. And then this one, it's just prelims time, it looks like. So let's go ahead and book up the prelims. We got Amanda Hebos at strawweight. Current rookie of the year. Get her versus Zapatella. All right, no one really for the females. And then for the males, no Jones, no McGregor, no Gaethje, no Chimaev. Biggie Boy though, heavyweight, pretty highly ranked heavyweight as well. We'll wait on him. Henry Cejudo, Alia Quinta. Lightweight, featherweight, middleweight. Okay, go with a little Derek Brunson and Sean Strickland. Alia Quinta, get him back in the game. Have him go up against Alex Hernandez. Little Josh Emmett, why is he unranked? Have him go up against Charles Hosa. featherweight, welterweight. All right, Hooper versus Shore. All right, Northcutt versus Nelson. Let's see, what else could we do here? Apart from that, not really too much that's worth complaining over or absolutely that I need to book, so we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. So we'll go hometown fighter, yes. Of course, there's going to be quite a few of them. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. On a bit of a losing streak, so we'll have to do this a bit wisely here. Brendan Allen. See where the hometown boys at. Daniel Rodriguez at welterweight. Versus Koreshkov. Let's do that. Lorenz Larkin, he just fought. Do him against MVP. And then Raul Rosas. I want this kid to win. There we go. Versus Chad and Helliger. There we go. Boom. Pretty dope prelims if I don't say so myself. And now let's go ahead and go to Ontario, where I believe we only have 5 prelims to book. Yep, 5 prelims to book. And same thing. Just looking for hometown fighters. All right, there we go. There's one. Ooh, quick camp, but I'm sure she's going to want to fight at her own home state. So let's go ahead and just rock with this anyways. Extra 250 for her. Where are all the Ontario fighters at? No Ontario fighters. That's wild. Okay. Now we're going to rock with the 6 months ago strat. Wellington Turman. Versus Dricus Duplessis. Andre Fialho. Versus Rude Boy Brown. And then we've got Karamagomedov versus debuting Shido Borissoto Esperanca. All right, we got Sharshushki. Quick camp, no thank you. Full camp for Yanal Ashmus as he takes on Jakar Close. Boom. Rhode Island. Alright, so we can book up the rest of these. First, let's look just to make sure. Highly doubt that there's any. Go with the 6-month strat again. All right, let's see. Is he on still a quick camp? Lucas Szarjuszki. Full camp now for the brother. All right, out of Poland. He would be making his debut against Brad Riddell. And we got Terrence McKinney on a full camp. And he will be facing Natan Levy. All right, back on the 3 months gang now. We've got a lot of fighters who have not fought in 3 months, it would seem. All right, Bryce Mitchell versus Lerone Murphy. Boom. We've got Bubba Jenkins taking on Daniel Pineda. One more. We've got Mark Madsen taking on Mike Davis. Boom. All right. We go to Iowa, where it looks like we only have 4 to book. Prelims, that is. Let's go ahead and take one more look. Hometown fighter, set it to yes. See if there are any, and there are. Okay. Female? No. Male? Just Rick Glenn. That's my boy, Rick Glenn. On a losing streak, but welcome home. All right. Get up against David Tamer. See if we can't get him a win in his home state. More than 3 months ago. Go with Blagoy Ivanov. Have you go up against Martin Budai. Ihor Poteria against Rodolfo Bellato. And we have Dylan Mantello taking on Soslan Gagloev. Beautiful. All right, we are all done with the booking for this month. Pretty successful month, if I don't say so. We have the return of Habib Nurmagomedov. How about that? As he takes on Nick Diaz. Jared Cannonier defending his title against Andre Muniz. Shevchenko versus Grasso for the title. Thug Rose versus Yaregui for the title. Dominic Cruz versus Darian Caldwell. And then I'd say 3 pretty good shows. 3 pretty good shows. A lot of these returning legends coming back and helping out by losing and getting other guys some popularity. That's definitely going to help a little bit. So the next time that I see you guys will be for Yair Rodriguez and Brian Ortega 2. Also got Adesanya versus Uzdemir, Covington versus Shavkat, and Prohaska versus Pereira. It's a pretty good lineup, if I don't say so. So stay tuned. Leave me a like on the video, comment, obviously subscribe if you haven't already done so. Stay tuned, as I am going to be doing a lot more stuff on Twitch. Might be streaming some of the TEW stuff. Obviously going to be recording and uploading more of this series as we move along. But appreciate you guys as always. I'm AZPlow21, and I will see you guys at the fights.